Underground Railroad. The Underground Railroad was a network of secret routes and safe houses used for helping slaves escape from the South to the North, many passing through the United States on their way to Canada. This was most active during the 20-plus years leading up to the Civil War, which started in 1861. The Underground Railroad in Ohio was one of the best traveled routes. It was geographically convenient and offered slaves one of the shortest routes to freedom. Slaves would cross the Ohio River from states such as Virginia, now West Virginia, and Kentucky to seek freedom in Ohio, a state that did not permit slavery. Once arriving in Ohio, the slaves would continue northward. It was estimated that more than 1,000 slaves a year were successful in gaining their freedom because of the good citizens of Ohio, who were willing to lay down their life and oftentimes their property on the line to assist the slaves. Nationally, it is estimated that by 1850, the Underground Railroad had assisted more than 100,000 enslaved people. More than 20 main routes traversed through Ohio from south to north. Many of these came through Wayne County. From a Daily Record article printed on Saturday, February 9, 1952, quote, "There were two main approaches to Wayne County from the south, one from Millersburg, the other farther west by way of Nashville, Shreve, Lakeville, or Loudonville. One western route divided in the Loudonville vicinity, a branch going north through Ashland heading towards Sandusky. The other branch came to Wooster and went north by way of Golden Corners to Lodi and headed for Oberlin and points on the lake. The eastern route from Millersburg went via Holmesville, Fredericksburg, Apple Creek, East Union, Smithville, on up to Seville and Medina. One branch went farther east, headed towards Akron, with several alternate routes from there to Cleveland." End of quote. The traffic of the Underground Railroad proceeded northward largely over little-used roads and trails. There were no direct routes. Often, if one station came under suspicion of authorities, an alternate one of a few miles away would be used. After all, the whole state was a network of trails and stations. Secrecy was imperative. Helping slaves to freedom was against the law. Anyone caught as a violator could face fines up to $1,000. In today's money, this would be more than $33,000. That would have been a lot of money for that time period. In addition, it was very dangerous to participate in the network. Slave groups offered rewards for the assassination of those active in helping slaves to liberty. In addition, it was not unusual for community members to burn another's property if that neighbor was believed to be part of the Underground Railroad network. Several Wayne County abolitionists and Underground Railroad conductors here in Wayne County relocated. They went out west. This is after they had suffered great damage to their property, and they endured many threats, not only to their own lives, but to the lives of their family. In 1952, many of the structures used during the antebellum era were still standing in Wayne County. Isaac Daniels was one of the Underground Railroad conductors in our area. He was born about 1800 in Pennsylvania and settled in East Union Township. He married Eleanor Barnett on the 23rd of June, 1825 in Wayne County, Ohio, and raised a large family. Family tradition revealed that runaway slaves were brought to the Daniels home from the Fredericksburg area, probably from the Thomas Smith place, which is located about 1 mile north of Fredericksburg. From there, Daniels would move them north to the Joseph Myers farm. A spring wagon was used to transport the slaves. As a side note, Joseph Myers was known to speak openly against slavery in his home community. From his farm, the slaves would then be transported up towards Seville area. Eugene Purdy was a well-known attorney in Wooster. He was born about 1815 in New York and married Eleanor Ann Taylor on June 5, 1836, in Torrington, Connecticut. At the time of the marriage, Eugene was residing in Wadsworth, Medina County, Ohio. Eugene had come to Medina with his parents at a young age. He attended Wadsworth Academy. Eugene later read law and was admitted to practice in 1835. In 1837, the young family moved to Wooster and settled in a brick home on the west side of Massaro Avenue, just about 100 feet north of Pittsburgh Avenue. Mr. Purdy was described as possessing an acute sense of right and justice. He had strong opinions and feelings against the institution of slavery and identified himself with the abolition party. He remained active and a hard worker against slavery until it was finally abolished. Thomas Battles was another well-known Underground Railroad conductor in Wayne County. On the 10th March 1842, Thomas S. Battles married Ann Elwright in Wayne County. Thomas owned an old log house 1 mile north of Shreve. In addition to the log house, his residence in Millbrook was part of the network. His home was one of many in and around Millbrook that actually assisted with the Underground Railroad. Some of the individuals known to assist Thomas Battles included the widow Charity Bell, Dr. Joseph Garman, Absalom Swords, Miss Elizabeth Kaufman, Daniel and Joseph May, Charles Oldroyd, and Samuel Seibert. One story was recounted, and it was told by descendants of a Miss Kaufman. Miss Kaufman had a group of slaves who were very near getting caught. So the slaves were put into a wagon. The wagon had a framework of planks built over them. A load of wheat in sacks was used to hide the slaves. The wagon started on its overland trip to the canal market in Massillon. No suspicions were aroused, and the wagon made it safely to its destination, thus providing the slaves another step in the path towards freedom. These are only a few of the stories available to read in the E.H. Houndstein article titled Prominent Citizens in Pre-Civil War Days Aided Escaping Slaves. The article was first published in the Wooster Daily Record on February 9, 1952.